Hello there. Have you ever heard of cutscenes? You know, those little movies that play during gameplay? Yeah, well, these cutscenes, while a burden to speedrunners, are an incredibly important part of a game. Cutscenes help to tell a game's story and give the player a little break to relax after a tough section of gameplay. So, I'm making my own game, and like the Chad I am, I'm making it on Scratch. While developing my game, I had the idea to develop cutscenes. There's just one problem. Scratch, unlike other game engines, doesn't have triggers, camera controls, or text boxes. You know, like everything needed to make cutscenes. So, how are you supposed to make cutscenes then? Well, let me show you. So, to make cutscenes, we need triggers, camera controls, and text boxes, like I said 10 seconds ago. Fortunately, my game already has a camera that can scroll around the level to any point I want, so we're good with that. Now, we just need to make the other two. I decided to start with the text engine because triggers without anything to, trigger are useless. Now, let's make this text engine. Yeah, these things kinda suck to make. Fortunately, I already have one saved that I did not copy from a tutorial because I would This text engine does work, but I want it to write out slowly, but to speed up the writing if you're matching a specific key. To do this, I made a complete text variable that controls the full text string, and a typed text variable that gets written to every frame. This will write out the text at a constant speed of 1 character per frame. The problem, though, is that this is very stale. To bring this text engine to life, I checked to see if the current letter that just got written was any punctuation mark. If it is, then I have the text engine pause for a little bit. Yeah, pause the video. It's been 1 minute and 32 seconds and you still haven't subscribed? That's it. I'm giving you 5 seconds to subscribe, and if you don't, Silly Billy will come to your house and will fling you off the roof. Okay. Anyways, we're back. I added a text box for the text to write in, and I also added a bit of text to say who's speaking, and I also added some animations to the text box so it fades in and out. So, with the text boxes done, it's time to make the last thing on our list for cutscenes, triggers. I decided to make 2 types of triggers, cutscene triggers and text triggers. Just in case I wanted to make more trigger types, I stored these trigger types in a list. I wanted it so that the triggers could only be activated consecutively, that is, one after the other. So I made it so that each trigger would only check the current trigger number of its type. Once that trigger is activated, that trigger's counter is incremented and the next trigger zone is checked. After that was coded, I added in functionality for both of the current trigger types. Text triggers that activate text boxes, and cutscene triggers broadcast a message to start a cutscene. Now for the task of stringing together all of these components. The problem is that Scratch is not very easy to time events with. You can't easily link to events in Scratch. Unlike Unity, JavaScript, or Python, you can't simply add links between objects. So I have to effectively code all of these links by hand. To do this, I decided to split cutscenes into different segments. To make this work, I made it so that all of the components of a cutscene, the player, the camera, the text, etc., would use this cutscene segment variable to do their part in the cutscene. Every time a major event happens, like a text box closing, it would increment the cutscene segment counter. This took a lot of time and was way more complicated than I just made it sound. Anyways, there's one last thing to do to make these cutscenes, and that is to actually, make them. To make cutscenes, I invented a format for a string that the game can read as data for a certain sprite. For example, this string transforms into text that says subscribe, spoken by me, Onyx, and is written for 150 frames, aka 5 seconds. I used a similar system to this for every single sprite. It may sound tedious to make a cutscene like this, and, well, you're not wrong, but it is significantly easier than hard coding every cutscene by hand. So, after filling out all of these lists, I had some cutscenes that are ready for you to watch. So, to end off this episode, I'd like to show the first 4 cutscenes of Pooshie's world. And, just for fun, I'll be reading them aloud as if I were a kindergarten teacher. So, let's begin the showcase. What if he made it through all of that? No, he couldn't have. Well, just in case. Let's see how he fares against this. Oh my god, that was so crazy. Wow, you're smarter than I thought. I hope you don't think you're fooling me by hiding behind that rock. I can literally see you. You must think you're so smart, getting through all of these puzzles. But open your ears to this. If you were smarter, you'd leave me be. I see you haven't taken my advice. You're very persistent, I see. But I don't think even your persistence will be able to conquer this next challenge. Though, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh my... So, you finally arrived. You've completed my hardest challenge, and for that I have to congratulate you, for you were the first to have ever done so. Now, why have you chased me all the way here? Did you want to catch me? Go ahead. Catch me all you want. Oh, you really thought you could catch me? I'm the Dream Hopper. I'm not real. I'm completely intangible. Though, thanks to you, specifically the persistence of your soul, that may not be the case for long. Don't say I didn't warn you of this, Pooshie. Oh my god, dude, I literally hate my life. Alright, well, that concludes the first level of Pooshie's World. This level and the next level, which is currently being worked on, will be available in the next testing version of Pooshie's World. I'm not exactly sure when the testing build will be released, but when it is, you won't want to miss it. So, if you want to be the first person to test my game, go ahead and subscribe and you'll get a notification when it's released. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, so have a good one.